What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your girl, MissFittLawyer, coming back at you one more again with a big what's up? What's going on, everybody? Glad that you're back. Glad to see you guys and not setting me up to watch Versus tonight. Um, we have a great show for you tonight, but before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the NBA. I know you guys are watching these games or these games that are going on, the Nets versus the Bucks. I just Kevin Durant finally claimed himself the undisputable best basketball player in the world. I'm sure that there'll be some people that disagree with that. So last night, Kevin played 48 minutes. He played 48 minutes in the 5, which was a big upset. I don't know how many of you watched that, but that was a huge comeback. He did a great job. So he stated that had all of his career chasing LeBron James, and now he feels like he's surpassed LeBron James. So we'll see about that. I'm sure our guest tonight will have something to say about that. We're still in the beginning of these games, so we'll see how things pan out. Too bad we're not watching the Lakers, but hey, every team and everyone has a bad day. So what's good, guys? What's been going on? What have you been doing this past week? I've been training, getting ready for football seasons. Our inaugural season starting May 2022. I've been playing a little flag, conditioning myself. You'll see some videos coming out soon, and that's what's good. So I want to go ahead and get started because I have an show. We have our female lady baller. Her name is Cameron Davidson. She's a basketball player and, of course, a softball player. I mean, I don't know what it is. These ladies, they love playing softball. I'm trying to get you guys to get into football. It's, you have the arm. So, let's try that out. I'm going to have some things coming up so you can have a chance to try that out as well, ladies. We also have Coach Sean Slack Smack on. We're going to find out why he's being called Slack Smack and why he loves the Bucks so much. So let's get started. Our first guest, Cameron Davidson. She is a student at Pleasant Grove High School. She plays basketball. She plays softball. And again, we have one of these students that want to go to LSU. Cam.
Hi, everybody.
Turn your camera on, Cam.
Oh, God. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Cam.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What are you doing? Why are you not at practice? Did you skip practice to be on my show?
No, I already had practice.
How have you been, Cam?
I've been great.
Good. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You attend
I attend
Pleasant Grove.
Mm-hmm. And I play on the basketball team. I also play on the softball team. I'm the left fielder for the softball team, and I am the 1 and the 2 guard for the basketball team.
Okay. Are you on the traveling team?
No, ma'am.
No, you're not on the traveling team? Not even for softball?
Mm-mm.
Nope. Okay, so you play basketball and softball. Which one is your favorite?
Basketball.
Basketball. Why is basketball your favorite?
I don't know. It's just with softball, since I've been playing it since I was 2. I've been playing it for so long, so it just got a little overwhelming on me. But now that I'm in basketball, that's really what made me just love it so much.
Okay. So which one do you think you're better at? You said you like that better. Which one do you think you're better at?
It's kind of hard to decide.
It's hard to decide. What's your best move on the basketball court?
My behind the back.
You're behind the back. And what position do you play again? Point guard?
I play the point guard and the shooting guard.
Point guard and shooting guard. Okay, so let's talk about softball, because I know you got a swing, because I've been hit with a bat. You've hit me with a bat before, and it didn't feel so good. What's your stats on the softball field?
My batting average is like at least a 200.
Okay.
And also, I'm a left-handed batter. I'm a slapper.
Okay, you're a left-handed batter. Everybody take note of that. We have a left-handed batter here. And how long have you been playing?
So I was 2 and 14 now, so about 12 years.
2 or 14. Okay. So you say, I heard that you want to go to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why? You're from Alabama.
That's just
from Alabama. Slack. I see Slack smiling over there. You're from Alabama. You're going to go to LSU.
Mm-hmm. That's my favorite college right now. But if I was to go for basketball, I would definitely go to Baylor. You
go to Bama?
Baylor.
What? Bama? Oh, Baylor. Okay. Mm-hmm. Who do you follow at Baylor?
Well, she's not there anymore, but Tia Cooper.
Okay. So do you plan to play sports in college?
Mm-hmm.
You do? And which one are you going to play? Are you going to play both in college?
And play basketball.
Basketball, because that's your favorite. And what do you plan to major in?
Engineering.
Engineering. Okay. What made you pick engineering here? You like math?
I have a lot of family members around me that do engineering, and I'm really interested in it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Kim. I'm glad that you were able to join us today.
Mm-hmm.
Just give a shout out to your coaches.
I would love to give a shout out to my basketball coach right now, Coach Rico, my softball coach, Coach Brinson, Coach Sam. All of my coaches are amazing. I love them all.
Okay. All right. And then let everybody know how to follow you, and so they can see your videos. Videos of you playing.
You can follow my Facebook at Cameron Giselle. You can follow my Instagram at mg.cam. And my Twitter. What's my Twitter? My Twitter is bandcam2.
Okay, bandcam2. What is it? BAND or BAN?
BANNEDKAM.
Bandcam2. Okay. All right. So Kim, we're gonna bring on Coach Sean, Slack, and I would love for you to stay on. He may have some good information for you that you can carry with you to college, or as you're training and getting ready. Because how many more years do you have before you finish high school?
I'm a freshman right now, so I have 4.
Okay, and so you were playing all through elementary and middle school, right? You've never stopped. Okay, summers and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, Slack may have some good information for you as you're preparing to enter college. If you have any questions, pop them up, and then we'll let them know.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
No problem.
And then you guys was a student that's really giving it her all in a. She may want to go professional at some point. And again, that's why we're here on this show, trying to promote that we create a pathway for them to continue to play if they so desire. Next guest that I have coming up is also a part of that movement. I met Slack a while ago. As you know, he really supports women in sports and pay just equality across the board. Bring him on.
Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. How's it going? Wow, man. I just want to say Wow, congratulations to Cam, man. That's fantastic. I'm a lefty too, by the way. So hey, but no, that's a LSU is an amazing school. I actually took one of my visits there when I was deciding to go to college, but decided to stay home and play at UCF. But man, that's a great school. So I hope
UCF,
she.
not USC.
Nah, come on, man.
I always say like USC is like not USC, UCF. But
No,
let's get
Central
into
Florida.
that. Slack grew up
Sure.
in Orlando, Florida. He played offensive and defensive lineman for UCF, correct?
Mm-hmm. You got
Okay.
it.
Now, before we get into our discussion, I'm going to pose a question to the audience. Whoever answers this question will get a free case of Positivity Water. If you guys saw the show a couple weeks ago, we interviewed a young man that is the first Black entrepreneur to build a water distribution plant in Atlanta. Wow. So the first person that answers this question correctly will get a free case of that. So, Slack.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us, how did you get that name, Slack Snack?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, my last name was always growing up, coaches used to give me hell because, what are you, a slacker? What are you slacking off? So it was a nightmare, going through high school and then obviously into college and stuff. Is I always caught it. And then my brother Darren, he also played at UCF before me. He was about 4 or 5 years before me. He was a quarterback. And really the nickname kind of started because he did extremely well. He was the newscast one day. He had a huge game. He threw like 7 touchdowns in a game, and they said, "Here comes the slack attack," and that kind of stuck around. And then when I started playing, and then I was basically killing quarterbacks, they kind of coined the same phrase, hey, slack attack, that type of deal on the defensive side of the ball. So it kind of stuck around, and then. So, leading into the name of the show that I had, the thing with, I think when you have an online show or something, you want to have something that kind of is easy to remember and, something that's pretty catchy. It's short, it's clean. And so literally just came up with Slack Smack. I mean, there really wasn't anything to it besides, the fact that one is something that kind of rhymed and made it easy for people to remember. So that's really where that came from.
Okay. So I'm just going to go back and say that I don't think anyone that's on the line can be a slacker. I mean, you guys, defense or offense, I love you. Much respect. I don't know how you could be a slacker. But hey, so
well, I'll tell you. I don't mean to interrupt. I'll tell you a quick story. Okay. When Lou Holtz came to my house when I was a senior, they were recruiting me to go to Notre Dame, and the first thing he said when he walked into the living room of my house, he's like, "What the hell kind of name is Slack? Are you a slacker?" And if anybody knows Lou Holtz, I mean, the guy is hilarious. I mean, he's one of the geniuses of football, but he was the head coach at Notre Dame and won the national championship there, and but he's a little guy, and then he just comes in and the first thing he does, he gets right in my face. He goes, "You a slacker?" I'm like, "Oh my God, really?" So it was hilarious, but yeah, that's what you get,
Right. So what about your coaching techniques, Lab? You're coaching in Brazil, is that correct? And you're coaching both female and males, right?
Well, right now I just have I'm the head coach for a team called the Joinville Gladiators. I live in São Paulo currently, and which is like the third largest city in the world. It's huge. There's about 20 million people here in Brazil. The team that I coach is about an hour flight away. So usually on a Friday, I'll take a plane, fly down there, coach them on Saturday and Sunday, and fly back.
Okay.
And it's, you know, football down here they're big time into it. They're the third largest television market.
American football.
American football,
American.
yeah. It's full pads, full on contact. Right now they call themselves a professional league. I mean, the level right now is probably of a really good high school, I would say, in the U.S. So they're not there yet, you know, as far as any kind of, you know, bigger level. I think Germany, Mexico, they're much further ahead than we are here. But they've been playing for about 15 years now. There's about 250 plus teams just in full pads. And then you have another 15 or 20 women's teams.
Okay.
And then there's like, there's hundreds of flag football. Now, flag football, Brazil is actually very good. In fact, the women's team has qualified for the World Championships in Birmingham, and I think it's next year, 2022. And then they're going to be competing in the Olympics as well, hopefully in 2028. There's rumors that that's going to happen. So, but you know, again, it's really in its infancy stages here. So it's a challenge because you know, we obviously don't have great facilities. There's some teams that have good facilities and stuff, but you know, as far as the pads and everything else, it's you know, it's a challenge. And then, you know.
Yeah. So are the rules the same? The same rules and everything?
Yeah, they follow the NCAA rules.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I've had to get in a few arguments with a couple of referees. I try to be nice, you know, because, you know, sometimes, you know, they have an issue or two with them, but they do their best, and it's growing. You know, the ladies game here is it's behind right now, to be honest with you. I think there needs to be more investment into it as far as, you know, overall, as far as the league, as far as money, as far as coaching. There needs to be, because there's a lot of players from here that are great athletes, and there's 20, 25 athletes that are going to play with you in the WFLA. So that just tells you right there, they have a lot of ability. It's just, unfortunately, out of 250 plus teams, I'm one of 2 or 3 head coaches here from the United States. So, you know, that kind of tells you right there that, you know, there's a lot.
They're beasts. Those women are beasts over there. Like, I hope you're not training any linemen.
Oh, believe me, they're right under my wing, man. Any lineman, you know, I have to train them, because that's I got nothing but love for them. Let me tell you.
So tell me, what's the difference coaching when you're between coaching men and women? You know, I know you may not have done really professionally, you know, women, but I know you've coached women before.
Sure.
What are the differences that you see?
Well, to be honest with you, I think as coaches, you have to coach them exactly the same. And I think one of the things people often do at first, they might want to take a step back and, you know, change the way they coach, but you can't do that. You know, the women that play American football can flat out ball out. I can tell you, some of the athletes down here, there's a few quarterbacks, as an example, that have guns for arms. There's, I know a few defensive linemen that I've interviewed. You know, I've interviewed a lot of the players in the WFLA. And I've seen some of their highlights, and they'll knock the hell out of you, man. So,
I know.
you know, so as far as coaching them, I think one of the things, it's a lot like coaching in Brazil in general. There's a lot of teaching involved as far as the fundamentals of the game. A lot of women, usually by the time that they decide that they're going to play, is after high school and into their college years. On. They don't really grow up with it and early on. Right now with the WFLA, I think that's going to help change the mindset, and little girls are going to start picking up a football a lot earlier, which is going to be awesome. But So there's a lot of teaching that goes involved as far as fundamentals, because I think once you can get them, situated as far as their proper stance, how to hit, how to tackle, how to throw the ball, do things correctly, then you can kind of just build and build and build from that. But look, that I'm excited for you guys, next year, because I think it's going to open a lot of eyes to what the women are capable of doing, and we're definitely going to do what we can to help you guys out, for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent out there. As most women do. I started off out in flag. I did get to play a little bit of tackle, but that's not as popular here.
Sure.
Flag is, but you still get the conditioning, the technique, and then it kind of prepares you for the tackle.
With what Loopy is talking to, the CEO, Miss Rose, what she's talking about doing as far as, trying to install things possibly with the colleges and forming the partnership. I mean, she's a genius.
Create a pipeline. Create a pipeline. Yeah.
That's going to be massive. And the sport's just going to grow, and more women are going to be interested. And they're going to be like, because to be honest with you, a lot of them probably don't even know yet what's coming. So,
yeah. So what's your philosophy? What's your coaching philosophy? What's the one thing that I can walk up to someone that has been coached or trained by Slack, and they'll say, Slack always says this?
I try to be both a teacher and a student of the game. I'm always learning. I'm picking stuff up from other coaches. I'm always trying to evolve, because the thing about coaching, it's everybody has a different button to push. You can't just watch, Last Chance U and start yelling at everybody and, be fake. Players want to see authenticity, man. They want people that know the game. They want to have the experience, and then be able to translate that because everybody, you have to find a different level or a different button to push with them to go. So my biggest thing, especially down here, is to see them improve every game. I took over a team that's playing right now that hasn't won a game in 4 years. So we haven't played our first game this because of COVID and everything. But a couple of years ago, I had another team, and I was there for 2 games. And the first game that we won, we came back after we were losing 16-0 at the half, and came back and won in overtime, and they qualified for the playoffs. And that was, man, it was in front of like 80 people, but it was like playing in front of 80,000. It was like one of the most satisfying wins ever, because you see, the joy in these kids, like, man, wow, we're really putting this together, and I'm getting it. So for me as a coach, I mean, that's what it's all about. Because it's definitely not money. I mean, there's not really any money involved or anything like that, but it's just to watch them improve and grow and really kind of understand the game itself. So it's fun.
Right. So you touched on the WFLA and Lupe, what she's trying to do with the women. What are your thoughts on pay equality for women that are playing the sport?
It's a disaster, man. It's not even close. And you can go to every sport, the NBA, the WNBA, just name a sport, and women get screwed. I mean, to put it bluntly, and it's ridiculous. I mean, especially on the professional level, where the same argument is, they don't draw as many fans. That's a bunch of crap, because if people invested in it, and then they're able to turn around and put on the show and stuff that you guys are going to do, then you should be paid the exact same. And, you've seen my posts, man. I'm all about, promoting that, because I think it's really kind of stupid to the argument that these people give. They don't have enough people. They don't have enough fans. And it's like,
they don't run fast. They don't run as fast as men. They're not as aggressive as men. They're not.
No, that's crazy. Like I said, watch some of the highlight tapes of these people, man. I mean, You guys knocked the hell out of each other. I couldn't believe it.
Not me, Flex. They can't catch me. They can't catch me tonight.
I'm dead
I'm
serious.
gone.
That's why I'm really, again, you guys are going to be doing it right with the amount of teams, with the structure, the organization that they're going to have. And I think this will bring the fans in, not only from obviously it's going to be like a car accident at the beginning. People are going to be curious, so they're going to tune in. But then they're going to keep it because it's going to be like soccer. Women's soccer is huge in the United States. Yeah. But the thing that's different with you guys as well is you guys are global. You got people coming from all over the place around the world, which is really going to kind of build that base audience for you, and then it's going to get people excited, man. You're going to have young girls in Brazil be like, man, I'm going to have an opportunity.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And then with different skill sets, like we have rugby players there,
yeah.
Yeah.
And those girls, I've seen, I'm like, damn, go ahead, man. Do your thing. So it's really exciting. I can't wait. I think the COVID thing, actually, to be honest with you, was a good thing for the league.
Yeah.
Because it really gives you a little bit more time in preparation. It gives Loopy time to do what she needs to do.
Build momentum.
It gets the teams, time to get everything organized and set. Now you guys, man, now you're what? 7-8 months out from training camp, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be killer.
So speaking of COVID, did you guys shut things down for a very long time over there in Brazil?
Yeah, it's hit hard. In fact, we're still in it. We're
really?
we're not nearly fully open yet. I actually just got vaccinated last week because I'm old and big, so I got benefit. So no, I'm serious. They're on they have age groups that you can do it, and I think they're on like age 54. But
they started young.
No, they started old.
Okay, all right. Okay.
But they have a thing called morbidity or whatever, which means like if you have other issues, whatever, you can get it now.
Okay.
So,
okay.
I got mine last week, and so hopefully now there's not they were worried about a third wave because it's the winter now here. So, but hopefully that's going to stop. And my team has just started returning to practice, and so we'll see what happens. Hopefully this will be it because it's tough, man. My wife lost her dad on her birthday last year. And I've seen other friends and people that have really had a bad deal with it. So
wow. Yeah, this COVID, it's been something crazy for everybody. So I know Chicago is wide open. They opened up last weekend. So we're moving on with Lollapalooza and everything.
Yeah, my whole family back in Orlando, everybody, Florida's been open forever. So I mean, they're all vaccinated, they're good to go. Let's go to Disney,
There's no COVID in Florida.
Yeah. Exactly.
There was a commercial that there's no COVID in Florida.
Yeah, come on down.
So let me ask you this, Sean, for an athlete like Cam that we just talked to, who's looking to maybe play collegiate and then play professionally once we finish what we're doing, creating a path for her. Sure. What should she be doing now in order to make sure that she's ready for that?
Well, it's all about preparation, mentally and physically. She's still young. She's a freshman. She's going to grow some more as well. She's going to grow into her body and kind of recognize, what her skill sets really are. Her coaches are going to kind of let her know, okay, this is where we kind of see you. This is where you probably progress to. And she needs to know that so that she can turn around and set goals, physically for herself to, train in the off season, get in the weight room, get out there and, get herself ready each time. And then as she, again, she can enjoy it right now until you get into about, once you get into your junior year, that's when things really start clicking and you start getting the letters from the colleges and stuff like that. And then you're like, okay, now it's time to really kind of, build up, and you kind of get an idea of where you're going to go and what you're going to do, or what what you want to do. And once she decides that, it's really about, setting the goals and kind of going from there. Obviously she wants to keep her grades up because, again, that's going to dictate a lot going into what college and stuff she can go to. And it sounds like, man, she's going to be an engineer. Jesus. I mean, I'm sure her grades are not a problem. I mean, I
can't advise on that. I'm sorry. But what's too much? What's too much and what's not enough? So is it too much? These kids, they're on the traveling teams. They're practicing every day. Is it too much to, I know they'll probably change their mind a million times about schools, but is it too much to start looking at schools that they may want to go to and trying to build connections, or is that overkill for a kid her age right now?
She can set goals with that. I don't think she needs to lock herself in, because what's going to happen is colleges are going to find her. Right. And what she just needs to really focus on is, obviously with her grades, and then athletically being at the best position and the best position group she can be in right now. Talk to her coaches, say, look, I'm gonna, I want to go to college. I'm not sure, what position I'm going to play in, because you never know. Things might change depending on how her body develops. She might not, play the same position when she's a senior. So, things are going to change that way. So really it's a matter of kind of communicating with everybody, but she can do all the little things on her own right now. And then there is no overkill. I mean, because even if you're on the travel squad, okay, your goal is what? To be on the first team, and you're always going to be working towards that. But again, there's a lot of back and forth that needs to happen. My coaches were always good about that with me. And then as the letters and stuff start coming in, as you start getting communication from college, sit down with your family and, kind of map out what you want to do. I mean, it's not rocket science, really. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Man, I miss it.
Yeah, it is. Even as an adult, it's fun. Okay.
I was talking to one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I'll tell you a quick story. My father, my junior year, I was just talking to one of my friends, George Alfonso, who grew up with me, about 2 hours ago about this. My father passed away 5 years ago on June 25th, and I was actually in Rio in the Olympics. And right now it's a tough time, because it's like usually near training camp for football season. And I could just remember we had a wall in our garage, and I was getting 30, 40 letters a day from colleges, and he would write on cinder blocks on the wall, like which college, and they put a slash, because you'd get a lot of letters from the same college. And so anyway, we ended up, we filled up an entire wall just full of colleges and stuff. And we had fun with it, because you get these letters and they all said the same thing. Hey, come to this college, it's great. And it was so much fun to experience that with your parents and share it with your family, and to be blessed to be able to have that opportunity. So she should really, take it all in and enjoy it while you can, because man, when it's over, it's over. So,
it's over.
Yeah.
So did you play? When did you start playing flat?
When I started playing football,
man,
I was
I was
like 6, 7 years
walking,
old.
Huh?
Yeah, I was running around not knowing where I was, man. I just at that year, you're just concerned about how cool your uniform looks, So I didn't really get serious about it, to be honest. I was always a big kid. So my freshman year in high school, they had already thrown me to the varsity squad, which is rare, but because I was big, so I got my rear end handed to me more times than not. And probably my junior year is really when things clicked. My brother kind of took me under his wing and showed me how to train correctly and stuff. And then it got real. So
was it always lineman?
Yeah, for me it was all I didn't have the arm, man. My brother got the arm and I got the bronze. So
Okay.
I killed quarterbacks and he loved them. So there you go.
You didn't kill him. Come on, we want the girls to play.
No, hey, you play defensive line, man. That's the mindset. Hey, you can love them after the game, be friends, but during the game, man, let's you can.
We don't want to scare them. We want them to play football.
Send them to a different zip code, man. Let's go.
Well, if they're playing for LSU, I don't care.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
So after training and coaching and the lights are off, what is Slack doing? What other ventures do you have going on, Slack?
Well, first, I got a 3-year-old, down here.
Yes.
Devin.
You guys, you have to follow Slack. I mean, he has the cutest kid ever. And he loves the camera. So
he loves the camera. He's a trip. He did a little TikTok with my wife last night. It was hilarious. The guy has no TikTok. He's got total white man disease, man. He can't dance for anything. So it was hilarious coming because now he's half black and half white. So his whiteness definitely came out. So it was weird. I mean, he even made the white guy 2-step look bad, man.
Oh,
so
stop.
that was but no, he's a trip. And so I try to spend, a lot of time with them. And then, when I'm working on a project, I'm actually writing a book, and trying to develop something into a, possibly a series or who knows, a film trilogy or whatever. That's a real passion of mine as a writer. So been working on that. And then, that's it really,
and you also have a show. You have a show, right?
The Link Show, yeah. The Link Show will probably start possibly next month. With COVID and everything, it kind of got delayed a little. But basically, it's what we'll do is we're going to interview people like yourself and a lot of people with the WFLA, athletes, celebs, just to kind of show the link between the United States and Brazil. Brazil's done a lot for me. I've been coming here for 20, 25 years. And so it's going to be an opportunity kind of for me to give back to them. And because I have access to some people that they normally probably wouldn't be able to see up close. And so, that'll probably kick off next month. So that'll be fun, to do.
We really appreciate that. Slack has been a very close advocate for, like I said, he's from the time I've met him, he's always advocated for equality in sports for women. And he's just always been very supportive. We've stayed in touch through COVID, and I really appreciate it. Actually, the idea for this show was partly from watching you, Slack, because Slack was one of the first people that helped to promote the WFLA, correct, Slack? Yes.
Well, yeah, I used to drive. I know I drew links in Loopy crazy, man, because once I found out about what you guys were doing, I couldn't shut up, and sometimes I was emailing them. I was talking. They were like, "Hey, man, back off. Hold on." Until they got to know me. But now I talk to them all the time. It's no big deal. But before, they knew who I was because, come on, this guy out of nowhere starts contacting you. But no, they've been awesome. The women that are in the league have always been fantastic, and I definitely.
Slack you were dealing with that with Lupe, but as far as the women, you were supportive, you were following, liking, sharing, all of that. He has really done that from the beginning. So
it's exciting. I like I said, I see what's gonna happen, man. I think it's gonna explode next year. I think you guys are gonna have the biggest problem because your first game, you're gonna be out there in freaking tears. You're gonna be like, I gotta play a game.
No, we're gonna be such good friends. Everybody is such good friends now.
But the emotion is going to be. Can you imagine?
Jasmine, you hit me. Oh, it's okay. It's
like, we'll watch Netflix later. We're all good. No, but it's true. The emotion, I think, from that moment is going to be overwhelming. I think you guys, once you get in the stadium, you're ready to ball, and you're going to be like, damn, we did it. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be epic. I'm excited to see that for you guys.
I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm very excited. About that, I tell when people, especially, tackle, they're like, what, do you do that? I look like I'm 135, 40 or whatever, but I have the build of a receiver, But people don't understand the different, the different body types, how you train, what you eat, and you do all of this in order to play your position well. And then they'll say, okay, so what do you do when you see someone running towards you or whatever? And you just, I'll say, you just go into what you learned, or sometimes I don't even see them because I'm running a route or something like that. So can you tell them, can you give us a snippet of when you were playing, what your mindset was when you were standing on that line?
Sure. One of the things I always tell my players especially is, look, when you walk into the field, you're in the white lines, you're in the gridiron, everything else, forget about it. Forget about your home, forget about your wife, forget about your husband, forget about everything else except for what your job is. And because people don't realize this game is 50-60% mental, and you really have, if you prepare yourself throughout the week before a game with your playbook and just mentally ready to go at it. Then once you get on the field, it's like, okay, it's time. And it doesn't matter what position you play. You can be a receiver, you can be a quarterback, you can be a lineman. The thing is, you have to be in the domination mode. And I used to, look, it wasn't about joking around. It wasn't about being, Mr. Stoic either, but it was about, let's go ball out. And once the game's over, 3 hours later, okay, it's cool. We can joke around or whatever, but it's all business, man. Let's get to work and let's do our thing and have fun doing it. And, I don't care if somebody's got the ball, if you're playing defense and somebody's got that ball, it's all about, again, you're going to wreck their weekend. So be prepared to, lay them out. And for lack of better, you don't want to hurt them. You don't want to do it. It's just about, you're doing the thing. Yeah. It really based on. Yeah. It really becomes up here. I mean, you really, like I said, if you prepare yourself mentally, you're not thinking about the pain of a hit or a tackle or whatever. That goes out the window. You're so juiced up on, being motivated to play and what have you, and doing your job. You don't even pay. Obviously after the game you'll deal with it, but during the game you don't even feel it. I mean, it's really just about doing what you have to do, and it's a lot of fun, man. Oh my God,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Not just the game. The game is fun. Preparing for it is fun. The camaraderie is fun. It's
the locker room. Yeah.
Yes.
The
trash talk before the trash on the field.
The locker room is the best place on the face of the earth. In fact, all politics should be based on a locker room, because there's no color, there's no sexual orientation, there's no religion. Yep. You guys are brothers and sisters, man. I mean, and that's how, and they're friends for life. I mean, there's things that happen in the locker room that people don't know that are outside of life. And it's because you guys go through hell together. I mean, that's what it's all about. And when that comes together as a team and you guys go out there and, whip somebody's ass, there's nothing better. Nothing better.
The locker room is the least racist place on earth.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
No one cares about color in the locker room. It doesn't matter.
No, you guys, come on. I mean, football teams right now are what, 60, 70% African American anyway. I mean,
yeah.
So, some of my best friends come out of, being in a locker room together because you guys go through hell. I mean, at UCF, our first week every year is called Hell Week. And we had 3 practices a day in full pads, man. And you guys are just limping back to the locker room together, just dying. I mean, it's just.
Tell them about crazy. Full pads in 90 degrees. Like, let's talk.
Come on, man. Look, and we
in
had
Florida. You were in Florida too. Oh my goodness.
In Orlando, and the humidity's like 1 billion. You had black helmets, black jerseys, and people. I don't even know how I did it, man. To be honest,
see the steam coming off of the turf.
Yeah. They don't do it anymore. Now they've outlawed a lot of the 3-a-days and the 2-a-days because people are getting soft. But I mean, back in the day, man, it was. People don't. Come on. I wasn't playing when they didn't have face masks. I'm not that old, but come on. I mean,
I didn't say that, Slack.
I know, but we're talking early '90s. So I mean, wow. But it was wow. I still can't believe we did it.
I'm just gonna, you guys that are just joining or join midway, we have a question. Sean Slacksmack played with 2 Tampa Bay Hall of Famers, one from Miami and one from Florida State. Who are these 2 men? If you guess that, you'll get a free case of water, Positivity Water. Positivity Water is the first Black-owned bottled water. They're building their distribution plant in Atlanta, and you'll also win some Misfit swag. Now, before this conversation has been so great. It's like it's 9. We only have like 10 minutes left, but before we get to the winner of this question, I would like for you to leave a couple of nuggets, 2 or 3 nuggets that we can all take away from this.
As far as the football is concerned?
Yes.
Okay. Well, look, there's really 3 things to think about, when you're playing. You obviously you want to prepare yourself physically for whatever position that you're going to be in, and that means. Like right now in the off season, you've got to get in the gym, you've got to get on the track, you've got to do all the things that you need to do to prepare your body physically. And that means eating better, getting rid of the McDonald's, getting rid of the Burger King, and really making a decision. Again, it's based on whatever your goals are, but you have to make a conscious decision. Look, this is what I want to do, and then you got to work yourself to do that. And then next is preparing yourself mentally. Learning whatever your team's play with, learning the position that you're going to be in, and start mentally doing reps with whatever you're going to do when you get on the field. And then lastly, before every game is try to visualize what you're going to do. And I'm not talking about just meditation, but everybody's got music that they're going to sit down and get motivated. I don't know if you got to throw on some Drake or whatever the case may be, where you can sit back and you be like, okay, I see myself hitting that person and getting a fumble. I see myself. Yeah, I see myself making the pass. I see myself, making the reception,
I see myself catching that rock.
Yeah, exactly. I see me, getting a touchdown, and I'm getting on TMZ because I'm all that, but for real, it really helps to, visualize yourself doing those things because it serves as motivation. Look, off season sucks. I'm not gonna lie. It gets hard, to get in the gym and to do the little things, and everybody says the same thing, but once your body's ready and you're prepared and you're good to go, everything else is easy. I mean,
Yeah, COVID didn't make it any better this year. So.
No, but the games, my players go through hell when they go through practice with me because I tell them, look, my practices are hard because the game's fun. The game's nothing. The game's easy. I'll put you through hell now, but then when you get on the field, you guys are going to ball out, and then I want you to show yourself. I have dance classes on my field, man. I challenge these guys. I'm like, I want these 10 guys. I want to see your touchdown celebration. I want to see these 10 guys because you got to have fun. You got to remember this is a game. And, people sometimes get too businesslike and they watch too many television shows and that they can do stuff like that. But just remember it's a game. Go out there and have fun and just be yourself. Be authentic. It's a blast.
Yeah, that's funny. My coach does that sometimes too. When he sees that everybody has a bad day. When he sees I'm getting uptight or something like that, he'll be like, "Okay, so what are you gonna do when you make the touchdown?" And we'll, kind of.
Yeah. Just remember, hey, it's a game. It's a game. And I want my guy. Look, if you're gonna talk crap, that's fine, but you better back it up. Some coaches don't like that. I love it. I have no problem with you talking crap. We played a team from Russia my second year because we had
American football.
Yeah, UCF. You can look it up. It was in 1992. We played the Moscow Bears because there was a scheduling quirk with FSU. So Russia came and they played against us. So here we are on the line, and we're talking mad crap to these guys, and they're like, "Dos Fadonia, niet," and we're like, "Hey, I want to, do this to you." I'm not going to say whatever. But then after these guys came to our dorm, some of the team, I mean, we killed them. I don't even remember the score was like 42-6 or something because we had to.
Oh my God.
But they came to our dorm after and went partied with us, and man, they traded like jeans for like army caps and pins and. They had dudes drinking vodka like this, like it was water. I mean, it was amazing, but it was one of the best experiences ever. I mean, and it was just, like I said, it was fun. They had a blast getting their butt kicked, but we had a blast partying with them after. So that's what football is all about.
Well, I do have to ask you, since you brought it up, what does a practice look like with Sean Smack?
Well, I try to
death, other than death, okay?
No, I get with my I only have a couple of assistant coaches. His name's Raphael and then Gus, and then I have a couple other guys that help us out. And what we try to do is map out what we want to do for the upcoming practice. We try and practice Tuesday and Thursday night, and then we practice on Sunday for like 3.5, 4 hours. So I try to map it out into different segments and try to, every position group is set based on whatever, the situation may be. Every team is different. So, I watch a lot of film and kind of diagnose what I think we're going to run for that week. And then, we lay it out for them. Now, there are some times where, they might not be as motivated and there's some, extra conditioning and stuff laid in there. But the bottom line is it's all structured so that we can get the most out of these guys because we have limited time that we have with them. So we really kind of map out things to try and, again, it's a lot of teaching because, again, these guys are so new to it as well. So, but we definitely throw in the Oklahomas and the, those kind of drills to where I want to see some pads popping and they learn the American style. I do. I coach them like I would an American high school team.
Okay. Well, Slack, I really hate to let you go. This has been such a great conversation. I appreciate
it's been awesome.
openness, your willingness to come on. I don't know do we have any questions from the audience? I know we're streaming. I can't see the questions from Instagram or Facebook. All I can see are the questions in here. So
you're saying something about the Asha question.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a question. about an idea of how should high school coaches begin to train their athletes to go play football in college?
Train them just normal. You're going to have two different groups, really, especially at the varsity level. You're going to have groups that they're going to continue on and maybe have a career in college, and then you're going to have groups that are probably going to be, going to the, have a regular job afterwards. So, you're going to have some people that you're going to take under your wing, and you're going to have some others that, they're all going to be coached the same. But the ones that they have potential for college, you need to have that conversation with them and kind of structure their off season and their training a little bit differently, because individually, you got to help them get to the next level. Because playing in Division I ball as an example, it's a whole different ball of wax.
That's a whole different beast.
Yeah, so you really have to be careful, because you don't want to, separate people and stuff like that. But you can do that, pull them on the side and say, hey, look, what you want to find, you got to communicate with your player and find out what do they want to. Some of them don't want to go to college. They might have all the talent in the world, but they might not want to. And so you have to have that discussion as well. But just be a player.
What's the harder conversation, Flag? What's the harder conversation? The conversation with the guy you're saying, or female that you're saying, hey, we're going to prepare you for college. You're doing good. This is what we're going to do. Or the conversation with someone that wants to go and play, and they just don't have what it takes to cut it.
Well, again, it all comes down to having that relationship with your players and being honest with them and say, look, it is brutal to tell somebody, look, your dreams are probably not gonna work out. You probably don't have the skill set. And usually players like that understand there's some limitations. Yeah, they know.
Right.
But they need to hear it from you as a coach. You can't sugarcoat it. Now, a lot of coaches do that. And then you're handicapping. And you need to sit them down and say, hey, look, let's be honest. I mean, there's not going to be a continuation. Now, you might, if you want to go pursue maybe flag football or something like that, okay, that's a different story. But if, for full pad, it's a different ball of wax. Now, the other conversation that's hard as well is the athlete that you see that has talent but is lazy as hell and doesn't want to, manifest it. That's a difficult thing to get across, because, then you got to get family members involved, and you got to sit down and say, look, I mean, you have a lot of gifts and a lot of talent that, probably 90% of the other people don't have.
Right.
Why are you even here then if you're not going to do the work? So it really is a tricky thing. And that's why I'm saying, coaching is a lot like managing a Walmart. I mean, you got all kinds of different departments and all kinds of different things thrown at you at once, and you just have to push the right buttons. And,
so how does the conversation go? So, as athletes, we always push confidence. You have to be confident. It's very important that you're confident. Sure. You can't step out on that field without confidence, and we've talked about that.
100%.
How do you talk to a male or female that's moving from high school to college, who may be one of the better players and has the confidence, just out of this world confidence, but they're about to move into another space where they're not going to be the best person on the team?
Oh, I tell them keep the same attitude.
Keep the same attitude? Keep
the same attitude, because look, the people that have that confidence 9 times out of 10 are doing the work.
Okay.
When I was before I played in the Florida Georgia game with the 2 people that you're going to mention there,
don't give it away, Slack.
I'm not going to give it away.
We have 2 wrong answers already. Hint.
But I'm not going to give it away. But before, once we did that and then we moved on, I was heading into college. I was ready to go, man. I was in the gym. I was doing my things in the off season. So, I was ready for anything they threw at me, and that kind of confidence level you need to take into it. It's one thing to talk and not do the work. That's a whole different ball of wax. But if you go in there and you've done the work and stuff, yeah, let them know. Go in there.
Let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know. Then they get on the field, and then they're gonna get smacked.
Hey, I'll tell you another quick story. My first game, both linemen got hurt in front of me. Like within the first 5 minutes of the game. I wasn't even supposed to play, and I was in the third team. This is my first game in college. So coach calls me and says, "Slack, you got to go in." I'm like, okay, I know some of the playbook. I'm like, all right. So I get out there, and I line up against Gabe Wilkins, who was a Pro Bowl defensive end for Green Bay. We were playing a college called Gardner-Webb, and the first play of the game, the guy hit me so hard, my helmet turned sideways, and I was looking at my ear hole. I'm not even kidding. And I was like, holy crap, this has happened. And right after the play, there was a timeout, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and it was him. And the dude was like 6'7", 300 some odd pounds. I mean, he's huge. And he's like, look, man, he's like, just forget about the playbook, forget everything, and just play ball. And I was like, okay, hey. And after that, it was, from then on, it was like, and it was totally right, because in college, look, your playbook is like this thick.
Yeah.
So you're more worried about the coach yelling at you. You're more worried about getting the play right. And then you're not thinking about the basics of the game. And, after that, I got licked a couple times. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. So,
yeah.
But
those
man,
licks will teach you a lot. Licks they teach you a lot. When I got flipped once in the air, all I saw was the
yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I've been hit, a couple times where, wow, yeah. I'm surprised I remember it. So
surprised you remember. So I'm gonna go ahead. Do you want to tell us? I'm gonna let everyone know what the answer to this question is, and then I want you to tell us about this game.
Okay.
So the answer, you guys are gonna just really kick yourselves when I put this up. Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks.
Yep.
Warren Sapp was Florida, right? Florida.
Yeah, Warren Sapp actually played. He was playing for Apopka, and people might not know he was actually a tight end when I played with him, and not a defensive lineman. And he had great hands.
On the line. He played on the line for the Bucks. Yeah.
He had great hands, and then Derek Brooks was he was from Pensacola, Scambia, which is another high school. He was actually a safety coming out of high school, and was probably the fastest player I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this guy was like a straight head-on missile, man. And but yeah, that was the Florida Georgia game. So,
what was the score?
I don't even remember. God, we lost. I know that. But
was it a close game?
I think towards the end it was, but I don't even remember what the score was. I know we lost. That's all. But we don't care, man. Once those all-star games are, the locker room's hilarious. The guys, because you're playing with a lot of guys from places that you would never play against, normally. So, but it was fun to watch.
Fun too.
Yeah, it was fun too. It was fun to watch their careers and see where they where they're gonna go and stuff. And now look, they're Hall of Famers, and I'm in Brazil, so there you go.
Right. Well, Slack, I hate to let such a great conversation. Before we go though, let people know where to find you, how to find you on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll keep them posted on your show that's coming out soon as well.
Yeah, no problem. The show is actually called The Link, and it'll be up there. Now, as far as Instagram, I actually got to look at this, man. I don't even know. Yeah, my Instagram is
Well,
Sean the Link.
wherever. It doesn't
That's
have to be Instagram, Facebook. Where do you want people to
Uh,
follow you?
Yeah, Sean the Link is my name on Instagram. So that's the best way to see everything
Okay.
that's going down.
Okay.
But,
And I got you
but
guys
man,
follow Slack Smack. I just love that name so much. When I first met him, I'm like, hey Slack. He's like, by the way, my name is Sean. I'm like, yeah, but I like Slack. Love that name, Slack Smack.
and make sure
I had
you
no
follow.
idea.
No, I was going to say, make sure you follow my world champion repeating Buccaneers.
Oh,
When
not
they
even
go
gonna.
20-0 this year and set the record
We almost
and
got
win the
through.
title.
We almost
Yeah.
got through this whole conversation without you.
Yes,
I'm not
the
gonna say
goat.
anything.
The goat. Did
Not
you
gonna
tell
say
people
anything.
that story where you were watching the game? I remember when you told me.
I
You
don't
were watching
remember.
the game. You were in Lakeland or something, weren't you?
Yes, in Florida. We were there playing in a tournament.
Yeah. And you were surrounded by Bucks fans. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I was sitting at a bar.
Yes. Oh, here you go. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait. Oh, yeah. Super Bowl champs. You know how we roll.
Jesus. But we're not going to talk about that. We almost got through this whole conversation without that Slack. Jesus.
You knew I had to.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my sister, you'll whoever got the answer right, I don't know, they'll be getting an email or a DM from LaTanya, and we'll get the address and send you the Misfit Lawyer swag as well as the bottled water. So thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at MissFittLawyer or on Facebook, Michelle Dunham, or on YouTube at MissFittLawyer.com. And that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Take care. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.